Alright, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the second match here with Jeskai Geist. Looks like we lost a die roll, but that's okay. We can definitely win. Let's brush off our round one loss to Tron. It happens. It definitely happens, but let's go ahead and try our best to win here. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep. Sacred Foundry. Burn. Sacred Foundry tapped. Red, white, sun and moon. Super slow start from Burn. Second Logic Knot is kind of awkward. Inspiring Vantage definitely feels like just a slow start. Oh, Thalia. Oh, jeez. That is killer here. So this is like red, white, death and taxes? Oh boy. The question is, do they play even Mind Sensor? And is it worth it to play around that? I don't know. Can Logic not beat Thalia? Like, let's say I delve x equals 2. I think that works. Yeah. And that technically becomes an x equals 1. Yeah, that should work here. I mean, like, I don't really have to counter it, but I need to use some of the spells in my hand here. And I need to get my mana online, so. Especially because I don't have mana to beat this Thalia right now. Alright, well, now I have mana to beat this Thalia in a really good way, actually. So, what's nice about red, white, death, and taxes is that they're not green. They don't have collected company. So there's nothing to be too scared about in terms of instant speed interaction. They still do play even Mind Sensors, probably Restoration Angels, and things like that. That could be an argument to Aether Vial. That's funny. Do we want to Queller that, or do we just want to get Helix out of the way? I think we're okay with that. I think we just want to go ahead and Helix. Because I imagine they're playing some number of paths and bolts, and so I don't really want to just use up my whole turn to get Queller killed. So obviously our counter spells get a little bit worse, but now that we have some mana to work with, I think it's okay. And we can always reset this Aether Vial with Cryptic Command at the end of the day. My opponent's just passing. So I think I'm going to run out Spell Queller here. Our hand is pretty dense. If my opponent wants to, like, Restoration Angel here, I think I'm okay with that. And now Path to Exile is also just a great draw. If I can trade this Logic Knot for an actual spell, I think I'll be very happy. Yep. That's actually really nice for us. There's actually an argument to getting a Plains there, but yeah, just getting that out of my opponent's hand feels really good. Question is, do we want to just Electrolyze Face here? Electrolyze can be pretty useful in taking down like future Thalias and stuff, so ooh. Geist is a good way to close the game. If my opponent's not playing anything, they might be sitting on like bolts and paths. So if they want to try to ambush Geist next turn, we'll do a pretty good job of countering or removing threats. Just play a Sacred Foundry? Yeah. So my opponent just played a Sacred Foundry here. What's nice about this hand is that it can beat... Alright, now it can definitely beat a lot of things here. It can beat Blade Splicer, I believe. No blades. Wow. Oh, geez. Looks like my opponent's having a bit of a flood over there, or flooded on removal. They could just be sitting on like path to exile. Now I think I want to, because I have two Snapcaster Mages, I think I want to start getting aggressive here. Let's keep up Path to Exile here, along with Helix, in case we want to path something on end step here. But let's just go ahead and try to end this game as soon as possible. If my opponent has like bolts or paths and they want to use that on Snapcaster Mage, I think I'm okay with that. We're up to 18. Our opponent goes down to 11. We still have... oh, wow. Okay, sure. Violent Response? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Actually, I think so far I'm okay with all of this. So I think I want to go ahead and Path to Exile this on my main phase. Because of Restoration Angel. I think we can go ahead and freely start here, though. Ooh, more paths. And we just drew Electrolyze, so like... I mean, a red source. I kind of like all of these things, though. Yeah, and I think I'd rather draw another path next turn. So I think Path to Exile plays around Restoration Angel, and I think that's just safer right now. As much as I like having access, like getting the value off of Electrolyze. Electrolyze can also just be a burn spell at this point. Path to Exile the Angel? Yeah, I guess that's maybe a reason I should have... Huh. Yeah, I did. That is a little awkward in terms of sequencing. Sure. Yeah, we have enough life to work with here that this is okay. To pay 2. No. I guess we could have paid 2 for Cryptic, but assuming my opponent just draws like runner, like best cards in their deck, I think I should just play a little safer. Yep, alright. Geist doing it that time, although it's usually not that great against Death and Taxes. But against red Death and Taxes, let's think about what we want to bring in. Click lines up pretty poorly against Flicker Wisp, and their threats are pretty redundant, so I think I like cutting Click. It's just not necessary. Keranos is okay. Is it Staticaster is okay? Logic Knot is kind of awkward in this matchup. I'm not in the market for Logic Knot here. Elspeth can be okay. Same with Sell the Wreckage. I wonder what they play red for. They could play Blood Moon out of the side. They could play... could just be for bolts. Could be Helixes. Magus of the Moon, maybe? Not sure. So I think these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards we want to consider. We probably want to cut one Geist because he's not great, but he's great at closing out a game. I like keeping in a Spell Snare because on the draw, Spell Snare can be pretty nice, hitting their turn 2 2-drop. Let's go ahead and get, is it Staticaster, Keranos, Elspeth, Settle. I guess one Click is still okay. Yeah. I guess maybe we can cut a Jace. Jace isn't great, especially against instant speed and a potential bolt deck. So Click actually can trade with their creatures. Doesn't get hit by Thalia. I think that's the way I'm gonna sideboard for game 2 here. So being on the draw this game is... Were we on the draw last game? I think... Yeah, I think we were on the draw last game too. But we're still able to kind of salvage that win there. Our opponent flooded out. Kind of unfortunate for them. And Aether Vial is kind of awkward past, a certain turn. This hand is awkward, but it's a keep. They could be playing like Dire Fleet Daredevil, right? That's the card. All right. Looks like this is an Aether Vial start for my opponent. Question is, do we want to... How do we want to sequence our turn here? I think just getting our tap land out should be okay. You can be kind of tricky because when's the next time we're actually going to be able to use the Serum Visions in the face of like a Thalia? But I mean, we have Path to Exile to maybe answer a Thalia and things like that, so. The issue is, oh, Needle Spires. Okay. We're getting time here, which is nice. So drawing another Path to Exile makes me definitely want to shock that in, leave up Path to Exile, instead of like doing that first and seeing what I get. I don't think I can afford another tap land here, but I do think I want that 4th land to make sure my land drops keep coming. Okay, so here we're not actually, dead to like an Arbiter blowing up our lands with Ghost Quarter. We can Path to Exile the Arbiter with the ability on the stack. Blade Splicer, sure. So Blade Splicer, do we want to hit the Golem with Path to Exile? Because then we can, I don't know. I think maybe the thing is, we'll be, I guess we won't be stretched on white mana, considering we have Flooded Strand. And this is something I think I want to do main phase. Considering they're a Ghost Quarter deck, at the same time, this is awkward, but casting Helix on Blade Slicer on their draw step is actually kind of an interesting, actually in response to their Aether Vial. Yeah. Well, because like letting them get value off of like Flicker Wisp on Blade Splicer, I guess I can always do that in response. But then that puts me in a really awkward spot for a good portion of the game here. Alright, looks like they're keeping it on 2. Which makes me scared of like Leon and Arbiter shenanigans, but we do have the Path to Exile. Let's just go ahead and maintain our life total here. Essentially what we want to do is just keep 1-for-1ing our opponent and hope that they don't get some crazy tempo advantage. If we can get to Elspeth territory, then I think we won the game, but looks like they're just passing and leaving Aether Vial on 2. That's very interesting to me. So now like Arbiter is not even that scary. Flicker Wisp I guess is a little scary. They could have Direfleet Daredevil here, which is actually kind of cool. They can Direfleet Helix, but looks like, I don't know. I wonder what my opponent is sitting on. Alright, now they go to 3, which makes a lot of sense. And again, we're just getting attacked for 1 here. It's not a lot of pressure. Without that token on the battlefield, we can just go ahead and take 1. And we want to play the long game, right? Ooh, our opponent's casting a spell. Yeah, I mean, we go shields down for a turn, but I'm all for getting that cryptic value when my opponent has an Aether Vial. If my opponent wants to go Flicker Wisp, target Blade Splicer here, I think I'm okay with that. Yeah. And I suspect that's what's happening here. Oh, Magus of the Moon, huh? Ah, shoot. Oh my god, guys. Not even a Lightning Bolt. We're a Lightning Bolt deck. Oh my god. This is rough. Alright, I mean, we still have turns to find Lightning Bolt, but now they have, like, Flicker Wisp to protect the Magus, which is really scary. Oh, another Blade Splicer, yeah. Looks like we just got a little greedy here. Yeah, I should have thought maybe that was a bait. That could have, yeah. So, alright, now we know Magus of the Moon, but I don't think that's enough to, like, sideboard in Celestial Purge or anything like that, considering it's just probably like a 2 or 3 of in their deck. Post board. And we're dead. Wow. Wow. Ugh, I got baited. Got baited. That feels pretty bad. That feels like a game we should have easily won, and we just threw it away. That's what happens sometimes when you don't consider all the options. And I specifically was like, I don't need basic because of their ghost quarter. So that's kind of like an interesting interaction there. Do we want to bring in any logic knots on the play? They do get a little bit better on the play. I don't think we want to cut a cryptic for it. I think we just want to interact with my opponent. There's a good chance they have Aether Vial starts. Let's go ahead and just be a little more cautious going forward. So playing Colonnade on turn 1 means we can't Helix, but we usually don't have a Helix target on turn 1, right? Yeah. But that means we can't hold up Helix for like a turn 2 play. It's possible that just shocking for Serum Visions is correct here. Man, that's really frustrating. Like we're a 4-of Lightning Bolt deck. Magus of the Moon is really not, you know, that good against us. But it was in that specific case. Alright, looks like Peter's losing some battery life here, but let's not worry about that right now. Right now, let's go ahead and Serum Visions. Helix Cryptic. Or, I'm sorry, Foundry Cryptic. I think we can bottom the Foundry. Do we want Cryptic Command at this stage in the game? Is it better than a random card? Probably. Yeah, it's probably better than a random card. See if my opponent has their Aether Vial start. No Aether Vial start, so that's definitely a good sign for us. I think, weirdly enough, I might just play Field of Ruin next turn, just so I can have blue mana available in the face of future... Alright, Thalia. Thalia is annoying. And, like, because Helix obviously can't hit it. So yeah, let's go and play Field of Ruin. It means we're not playing Cryptic Command, but our hand is... You know, we have good interaction here, so it's not the end of the world. And we can take a hit from Thalia here. So, also not too worried about that. I want to just make sure I'm keeping up mana for Magus, or Magus of the Moon. Interesting. So... Sweet. So we have blue mana in case of any shenanigans. I feel like Restoration Angel with Dire Fleet Daredevil is pretty cool. I don't know if they play it, but... So not having Cryptic Command mana up here this turn doesn't matter anyways because my opponent has Thalia. I think I'm going to take another hit from Thalia here. It's going to be kind of a shame if my opponent has Restoration Angel to protect her. Oh, wow. Whoa, oh, no, oh my god. That was unnecessary hit there. What am I thinking? God. Sorry, guys. That was... I meant to do turn off auto yields to make sure I didn't have any auto yields, but... Turns out I just yielded through the attack. So, we should be at 19 right now. Spirit of the Labyrinth. Is that even threatening? That's not even threatening. Again, I don't want to get Magus out of the game here again. Are they just gonna... Okay. Let's just get Snap Down, get a clock going. I guess Magus is pretty good against Jace. Or, sorry, Spirit of the Labyrinth is pretty good against Jace. Alright, another land, not great, but we're sitting on 2 Cryptics and our opponent doesn't have an Aether Vial, so... And we can beat a Magus now. We can still Cryptic, and then Lightning Helix a threat as well. So, looks like our opponent, like, when they don't have Aether Vial, it's pretty good for us. Ghost Quarter. Okay, that answers one of our... there's the Aether Vial we were speaking of. Should I counter that? I think I should. I actually think that's very counterable. The game's not going to end in a few turns, you know? So this card actually is going to become relevant. It also invalidates a lot of my cards, my Cryptic commands. Sure. Yeah, Thalia's not scary. Staticaster is such a good answer to Thalia here. Oh my gosh. I think I just slam it. Slam it, ping it, attack for 2. Call it a day. It's weird though how, like, in a Path to Exile deck that Magus is just so, like, anti-synergistic, but alright, land is exactly what I want to see from my opponent, but shocking a land when they have this many is not necessarily what I want to see from my opponent. So, interesting, they're tapping their Restoration Angel. So, like, I'm really not too scared about Magus at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and just counter that. And our opponent concedes to that. Makes a lot of sense. Weird that they, you know, played that main phase, but we'll take it. We're not going to complain. That is the second match here in this Modern Competitive League. We beat Red, White, Death, and Taxes here with Jacekai Geist. We lost round 1 to Mono Green Tron, but we'll take it to round 3 coming up real soon. Stay tuned, guys.